Hi friends, Steve here in Hollywood. Well, actually it's Los Angeles, but it's pretty close to Hollywood. It's about 10 minutes east of downtown Hollywood. As you can see, it's all under construction, but this is John Marshall High School, also known as Rydell High. It was one of the 3 high schools used in the filming of Grease. This was opened in 1931, and it's a recognized historic cultural monument. It's also a pretty cool filming location. Unfortunately, so many of the locations that I've been visiting lately have been under construction. In either February or March of 1978, I saw Grease, the musical, on Broadway, and it was my very first Broadway show. It was written and composed for the stage by Jim Jacobs and Warren Casey in 1971, so I was a little bit late for the party. On June 16, 1978, just a few months after I saw the Broadway musical, the movie was released. The stage version was one of the longest running in Broadway history, and the movie was a blockbuster hit. I remember seeing the movie with friends in Hollywood at the Chinese Theater the weekend that it opened, and it sure seems like that was just yesterday. But of course, everything to me seems like it was just yesterday. It's pretty hard to believe that the movie is 42 years old, and next year will be the 50th anniversary of the stage production. So as the summer of the year 2020 comes to a close, I thought what better time to remember the cast of this classic summer movie. The other 2 high schools that were used for filming here in the Southern California area were Venice High School and Huntington Park High School. Let me know in the comments section if you have any interest in seeing me visit those 2 high schools. And you might also recognize this high school from dozens of other movies and TV shows like Pretty in Pink, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Nightmare on Elm Street. So let's head around to the back where most of the Grease filming took place. The front entrance to the high school is located at 3939 Tracy Street, and the side street here to the southeast is St. George Street. And another interesting tidbit about this location is that Walt Disney's very first home here in Los Angeles is located one very short block away. His first studio is nearby as well, and I'll visit those in a future vlog. And who recognizes this guy from the past? Or was it the future? So here's the back side gate located on St. George Street. And these days, at least in Southern California, pretty much all of the schools are gated and locked almost all of the time. When I was growing up back in the 60s, none of the schools, grade school, high school, colleges, had gates or fences. But things change with time and not always for the better. So does this look familiar to you? Recognize those hills and the homes behind the track area here? How about those tall trees there to the left? This is where the carnival scenes at the end of the film were shot, and where 2 of the best songs were performed. You're the One That I Want, and We Go Together. This high school is surrounded by residential homes, so that must have been like a free concert for all the neighbors while they were filming here. I'll walk around to the back side of the school so you can see it from a different angle. I didn't realize until now that the back of the school is located on Griffith Park Boulevard. But it is just a mile or 2 south of Griffith Park, so I guess that makes sense. And there's another sign for the high school back on this corner as well. And I'm curious if any of you attended a high school that was ever used for filming. Here in Southern California, it's pretty common. In fact, LA often seems just like one big studio back lot. Something seems to have been filmed on just about every street corner and in every building. It's kind of fun, but it definitely does blur the line between fantasy and reality out here. So here's a look at the back of the school from a different angle from Griffith Park Boulevard, looking through the chain link fence here, where all the carnival booths and rides were located and where all the dance numbers took place. I don't remember ever having a carnival at our high school, but I do remember we had one at our grade school, complete with a Ferris wheel and lots of rides just like here at Rydell High. Does anyone know if they still put on high school carnivals, or is that just another relic from the past? So my next stop is Rose Hills Memorial Park in Whittier, California. It's about a half hour east of John Marshall High School. And the gravesite that I'm visiting today accidentally gave me the idea to do this vlog. But as many of you have commented over the years, maybe it was one of those accidents that really wasn't an accident. About 3 years ago, when I started my YouTube channel, I was here in this section of Rose Hills visiting my brother and my great-grandmother and grandfather, who are all 3 laid to rest here. And I was walking around just randomly looking at graves in this section, which is a pretty large section, and I came across this gravesite that said, "Grease is the word." And I thought, wow, that sure sounds like the movie or the musical. And I didn't recognize the name. on the grave. So when I got home, I looked him up, and it turned out that sure enough, he was one of the cast members from Grease, from the movie. I recognized him immediately once I saw his picture, but I just didn't know his name. So at the time, I don't think I even knew how to do a GPS on Find a Grave, and I'm not even sure they offered it back then. This was over 3 years ago. So I didn't do a GPS. Later, someone added it, but for some reason, it just was not close to the grave. It wasn't really very helpful, because I've been back probably half a dozen times to visit my brother, and each time I look for the Grease headstone, and I have not been able to find it. But I did finally find it today, and I updated the GPS. For whatever reason, I didn't do a video back then either, and so now I've done a video with a complete pan, so you can see everything that's around the gravesite, and should make it very easy to find and visit his gravesite. I also discovered, standing there when I looked up, that you could see the H and part of the I at the top of the hill, which is the Rose Hills sign that's lit up at night. There's so many bushes and trees now, most of it's covered, but you can still see the H, or at least part of the H and part of the I, and so you can use that as a landmark too, and you just go straight down in his gravesite. If you just look straight up, you'll see the H. If it weren't for this Grease is the Word epitaph, I never would have known that this gravesite belonged to a cast member from the movie Grease, when I just happened to look down and see it around 3 years ago. An actor and a dancer, Stewart died from pneumonia as a result of complications from AIDS here in Los Angeles on April 20th, 1994, at the age of 46. He played the role of Leo, or Craterface, the Scorpions' gang leader, in both Grease and Grease 2, the sequel. And from up here on the hillside, you can see downtown Los Angeles and just about see John Marshall High School. Warren Casey, who was the co-creator of Grease, also tragically died young from AIDS. He died on November 8, 1988, at the age of 53, and he's buried at Sylvan Abbey Memorial Park in Clearwater, Florida. And surprisingly, I wasn't able to find any information about him on findagrave.com. Co-writer and composer Jim Jacobs is still alive, and he's now 77 years old. The next cast member is buried about 45 minutes west of here at Westwood Village Memorial Park. The Academy Award nominated and Emmy Award winning actress Eve Arden appeared in both Grease 1 and Grease 2 as Principal McGee. She died at the age of 82 in Los Angeles from cardiac arrest on November 12, 1990. She was cremated, and her ashes are buried here in the center lawn section. And if you haven't been here before, that's Marilyn Monroe's crypt straight ahead. Fellow Academy Award nominated actress Joan Blondell played Vi, a waitress at the Frosty Palace. She died from leukemia at the age of 73 in Santa Monica, California on December 25, 1979. She was cremated, and her ashes were interred in a private section not open to the public at Forest Lawn in Glendale, California. But she does have a memorial star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame that fans can visit. Eve Arden also has a memorial star that you can visit. For addresses to any of the stars, just visit the Hollywood Walk of Fame website. I haven't been able to find his gravesite, but legendary actor and comedian Sid Ceasar also has a memorial star that you can visit here in Hollywood. He played Coach Calhoun in the film. He died at the age of 91 in Beverly Hills, California, following a short illness on February 12, 2014. And his Find a Grave memorial page says that he's laid to rest at Mount Sinai Memorial Park in the Hollywood Hills. Actor Edd Byrnes played Vince Fontaine, a television teen dance show host, and he died earlier this year on January 8, 2020, in Santa Monica, California, at the age of 86 from natural causes. Unfortunately, his final resting place is unknown at this time. Actor and singer Jeff Conaway, who played Kinnicky, died from pneumonia at the age of 60 in Encino, California on May 27, 2011. He was cremated and has no final resting place to visit at this time. Actress Annette Charles, who played Cha-Cha, died from lung cancer at the age of 63 in Los Angeles on August 3, 2011. She was also cremated and sadly has no final resting place to visit at this time. Actress Dody Goodman, who played Secretary Blanche, died from natural causes at the age of 93 in Englewood, New Jersey on June 22, 2008. She's buried at Randolph Cemetery in Randolph, New York. Actress Alice Ghostly, who played Mrs. Murdoch, the auto shop teacher, died at the age of 81 in Studio City, California on September 21, 2007. She's buried at Oak Hill Cemetery in Sloan Springs, Arkansas. I'm happy to say that all the other main cast members are still alive. John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John's stars are right in front of the Hard Rock Cafe here on Hollywood Boulevard, and as you can see, it looks like it's been boarded up and now has a mural painted in front of what used to be the entrance. I don't know if they're permanently or temporarily out of business, but this mural is new since the last time I was here, which was not too long ago. I couldn't find any information about this mural online, so I'm just guessing that it's supposed to symbolize LGBT power, or maybe the power of diversity. What do you think? And this week I want to give a shout out and a very big thank you to my Patreon supporters Chizzy Lovell and Michael Bodden, who just very generously increased their contributions to this channel. Thank you so much, Chizzy and Michael. I also want to give a shout out and a thank you to all of the subscribers who left comments about Grease or suggested that I do this vlog. So thank you, Radio La Princess, 70G Daddy, T-Bird 549, Almost Veg Carpenter, Alexander Patrick, Joe P, and Melina Long. So until our next trip down memory lane together, happy travels everyone!